Ready to see MicroStrategy hit all-time highs? Stay tuned in this video to see where price could possibly go. What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. We're looking at MicroStrategy today. We've been riding along this trend line for an extended period of time since the blow-off top in November 21st. Finally got a breakout and close above this horizontal level and outside of this trend line. That is a great sign. That doesn't mean anything's going to happen yet. We need to get that close outside. So maybe the next move could potentially be a pullback to this horizontal level of support along with this trend line. That should be a lot of support underneath price, and see if we can move up to this 350 level. If we were to lose this level and fall back into this compressed area of price, we have the trend lines in both directions. You're stuck in between this range. So if we get a close back in here, then it's right back to what we were doing, and price could continue just compressing and maybe even fall through underneath this horizontal range, and then we continue down further down this trend. So that's the two scenarios I see playing out. Let's see if today's candle would be something nice. We get another large candle, and the next move we really want to see is a close above this 350 level and act as support and continue moving up to this 400 region. So the next levels I'm seeing is 350. After 350 would be 400. Minor level of support. We could probably run through it pretty quick. There's not much there. And the next level after that would be about 450. Have a little bit of resistance there. And then all-time highs. So this is how price action usually works. You're usually taking stairs up, sometimes stairs down, sometimes elevator down. But when it comes to MicroStrategy, it could be elevator up, elevator down, because it's a leverage play on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's already volatile, so things can really get moving quick. But this is the standard way that price likes to move. It likes to break levels, retest, break levels, retest, and then maybe break underneath, retest for resistance, push back down, and so on. It's usually how you see it. So if you can learn how to draw your support and resistance, you can start to kind of predict where price could possibly move. Nothing's ever guaranteed, of course, but it's just good to know this information. It can help you map out what could possibly happen in the future. But overall, this looks amazing. This is what we've been wanting to see. We've been stuck since November 21st, so this is definitely a step in the right direction. Now, a lot of times after FOMC, you see very volatile moves the following days going into the next week. So if we can get two strong closes on the daily and we get a strong weekly close, then this could be a very good sign. If we get a weekly close somehow back above this range or at the top of this range, somewhere here, that would be amazing. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, like I said. Bitcoin could turn around in a second and it could go south really quick, but this is really good. It looks amazing. Right now, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen because I could be completely wrong, but it looks like what we were saying is starting to play out pretty well, for now at least, in the short term, because we've had multiple retests of this trend line and bottom of the channel, and we said, along with this horizontal level of support, the indicators that we'll go over shortly, bottom of the channel and trend line, all of that support underneath price help to keep price up and allow it to bounce up, which is what we were saying. We were saying maybe we could get some kind of move like this, where maybe we chop a little bit. We use this as support with all this confluence together, and maybe we make our move to these levels up here. And it goes back into what we've stated previously. For anybody new here, you have a flagpole perfectly played out. You can see it, textbook flag. Then you go ahead and you can bottom portion here to the top, and it almost called it exactly to the dollar. It was off by 10, 15 bucks, which is, I'm okay with that. That's pretty spot on. So if we move it to the top here, we'll do the same thing. That gets us to that $1,000 to $1,200 region that we keep speaking about, which also coincides with the top of the trend line and the top of the channel. So that would work out perfectly. And that also coincides with the Fibonacci retracement. When you pull it from here to here, you can see we had price go up to the 2272 and the 2618, pretty spot on. Not exact, but it had the blow off top, so it shot right above it. But if you look at the body of the candles, it's pretty spot on. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll take it from the blow off top right here, the 1, and the 0 will land right at the start of this move. And that same region that we had from this pull was 2272 and 2618 was right in this region. So the new region for the next potential move would be right here in this region, along with that flagpole that we drew out, which worked the first time. So we drew the flagpole, it lined up perfect with this one. Let's see if it lines up with this one. It's not guaranteed, it's not foolproof. This thing could fall all the way through and MicroStrategy can just be done for this cycle, and we don't see it run up until the following cycle. Always possible, but I don't think that's going to happen, but it's always a possibility. So never think that something's guaranteed to happen. We're going to move on to the Bollinger Bands. This is what I was trying to say, where we had extra confluence on the weekly with the Bollinger Band. You're at the bottom band on the green band, along with bottom of the trend line, bottom of the channel, horizontal level support. So you had a lot of things going for you underneath price. At the same time, you also had the daily Bollinger Bands supporting you. So you had the weekly, the daily. We had that 200 SMA at that time. So I mean, there's like 7 to 10 things that are just holding price up here. That's why we were able to say, hey, maybe price gets a move from here. And from the moment that we were saying price could possibly bounce, we've already moved up a total of 32%. So it was a good call. Doesn't mean that we're 100% correct yet, because things can turn around. Short term, we've been correct, but that doesn't mean anything. Off the 50, there's another thing to add to the confluence, the 50 week. Strong bounce off of that, heading towards a 20 week, which we want to hold because that holds the trend intact. The blue and white line, the 20 and the 50 week hold the trend intact. Volume starting to kick up, slow increase. That's okay. We need to start seeing some large candles so we can push up even further. In terms of the RSI, we're looking good. We're starting to have an uptrend. We bounced off of this moving average, the yellow line. We broke above it, retested off of it, and now we're pushing higher. And price is continuing up. And we said that there was a buildup of strength back here where price was at the same level horizontally. You can see price is at the same level. We were saying, hey, maybe there's a buildup of strength that price hasn't even figured out yet, where we have this horizontal level. Price is at the same level. And on the RSI, we're pushing upward. So there's a buildup of strength, but price didn't reflect it yet. And now we're starting to see that reflection of that buildup of strength that wasn't even reflecting in price. On the weekly, we're in the middle of the range, pushing back up to the top, and we're maybe going to reach this trend line, this moving average, and hopefully crack above it and move up to the top of the range completely. On the MACD, we're still bearish, but this thing can always curl up and never even touch this region. On the daily, we're looking perfect. We're pushing upward. We're creating higher highs, higher lows, pushing up, and you're starting to see these green candles form that we were speaking of, where we started to see the red candles start to dwindle down, and now we're starting to see the green candles start to pick back up and potentially push up higher. And one other thing I wanted to check out is MSTR divided by Bitcoin, MicroStrategy measured in Bitcoin. So we've been in this downtrend. When we finally broke above it, we've been off this long-term trend line. It was acting as support, resistance. It's now acting as support. This is going to show that MicroStrategy is starting to outperform Bitcoin. So we need this to continue happening so MicroStrategy can push to all-time highs and even further. If you measure this up with MicroStrategy in Bitcoin, you can see it's strongly outperforming Bitcoin on the regular charts. But this is a start in the right direction. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen, because this can fall right back into the range, potentially start underperforming Bitcoin if we fall back in, chop, fall underneath, and continue down further. But this is a step in the right direction, where we were talking about a breakout, a hold, which we held already, retest, which we've retested like 2 times already. Now we have a hold, close back up here, and let's see if we can continue pushing up higher. That's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you in the next one.